Hello, hello. Welcome. So I decided to go out and buy the beginner box and the starter collection. So the beginner box and the starter collection. And what did I find? I found that I could make 3 decks. Um, Not using any of the same cards. And then I also started to work on the Gates deck. Everybody seems to have a Gates deck that they're making from there, but so I didn't really do anything with that. Um, but I did want to go over these decks again. These 3 decks you can make with those two starter collection and beginner box. So let's start with Gruul. And just so you know, these are all with sideboard. Um, Again, they're not perfect. There's a lot of one ofs. Um, but it is definitely a good place to start. And I made sure to include the 4 ofs that were included in the box. So, just to start out, Burst Lightning, just a better shock. You can kick it and do more damage later in the game if you need to. Dragon Master Outcast. So I added this in here. Not that it synergizes with anything, but once you get 6 lands uh, at the beginning of your upkeep, you're going to create a 5/5 red dragon with flying, which can be very good. Another one that doesn't really synergize, but if you're up against a human deck, then you'll be able to get this through and you'll be able to start adding +1s. Llanowar needs no introduction. This is like one of the best cards in the whole set, and you got a full play set with the two. I did add Primal Might. I wasn't sure about this one, but everybody keeps saying this is a great card. And whenever you add X and X, and then it fights, it's always a good removal spell. We do have 2 of the Wildwood Scourge. It enters with however many X's you put on it as far as +1s+1. Then we move on to the 2 mana, 1 and a red. This is a prowess creature, and you can sacrifice it and deal damage to a target creature or a planeswalker. Obliterating Bolt. I added this in here because it's actually very mana efficient. It's a 4 damage for 2, whereas like your lightning strikes are 3 damage. The one thing it can't do though is go face, so you're either hitting the creature or planeswalker. Scorching Dragonfire, again, only targets a creature or planeswalker, but we needed more damage. Bite Down, this is a removal spell. Hopefully once you get up into the bigger boys, you'll get that. And Ruby, I like Ruby, but she adds mana, and then you have to wait for it for you to have a power 4, and then she gets +2/+2, which makes it very good. A 3/4 with haste. If you have a 4-power creature down, then that's all good. Electra Duplicate. So on this, what you're doing is you're creating a token copy of a target creature you control. Hopefully it's one of the Great Worms, Mammoths, or the Savage Vent Maw. Giant Cinder Maw. I totally missed the Fiery Annihilation. So this deals 5 damage, and you know this is for like your Shieldreds. You want to make sure you can remove them. Giant Cinder Maw. It's trample. Players can't gain life, and that can be a big thing. Ball Lightning. I mean, who wouldn't add Ball Lightning since it's here? Trample, haste. At the beginning of the end step, it's sacrificed, but still, with 6 damage, you might either take out a few of their guys or get in for a good amount of damage. Garrick's Uprising. So, if you control a creature with power 4, then you draw a card. Then, whenever a creature you control with power 4 or greater enters, you draw a card. So this is kind of a decent um, draw card engine. New Horizons, you enchant a land, and then you put a +1/+1 counter on creature you control, and then it also, whenever you do that, it adds 2 mana of any one color. Predator Ooze, whenever this is indestructible, meaning the only way this can be taken out is with minuses, and there are stabs and other spells like that can take it out. But whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and whenever a creature dealt damage by this creature this turn dies, also put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Cackling Prowler. So this is a Ward 2 Hyena Rogue. It has Morbid. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Vizier of Menagerie. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library, and you can spend mana of any type to cast those. So this is also going to help you be able to go through your deck to find the cards that you want. Surek. So I included Surek because at the beginning of combat on your turn, if a creatures you control have a total power 8 or greater, target creature you control gains haste. So if you have this down and you drop in one of the big boys over here, maybe even the Hero's Bane, then they'll have haste. Alana and Elena, great card. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters, where X is Helena and Alana's power. So that still might just be 2, but 2 extra power, and having haste is a good thing. Then moving into some of the bigger creatures, this is basically a 4/4, as it gets 4 counters whenever it comes in. 4/5, and then you can add counters as well on the creatures. So if you have if it's a 4/4 and you do add 4 mana for this, then it becomes an 8/8. Primeval Bounty. Whenever you cast a creature spell, no matter what creature it is, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, and it has landfall. And whenever a land you control enters, you gain 3 life. So this is a 1 card does many. That's why it is a mythic. Quilled Great Worm. So this card is a multiplier. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage during your turn, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So let's say the Ruby attacks in and this is on, so it's going to be a 3/4. Well, then you'll put you put 3/3 on it, and then it'd become a 6/7. Had to make sure how they did the +1/+1. Aggressive Mammoth, just a big old boy, and gives all your creatures trample. And then the Savage Ventmaw. So this creature, I was a little hesitant because it's 6 cost, but it is flying. It is 4/4. And whenever this creature attacks, add 6 mana, 3 red, 3 green. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. So that still meets the 4 power and gives you a lot of mana. If it lives, it keeps giving that mana. I added Bushwhack just in case we need to get some more lands or we need to um, take on other creatures. And then we have Mold Adder, just adding another creature in. Snakeskin Veil, this helps protect your creatures. Venom Connoisseur, this can give all of your creatures Death Touch. Circuitous Route, don't know for sure if this belongs, but added this in case I need to be trying to figure out how to get more land. Blocker Worm, just a big old boy. And he gains 7 life, and then whenever it dies, you draw a card. A Braid, this is targeted, destroy target artifact. That's the only reason. I could have put this in the regular deck, but I decided to go with the Obliterating Bolt just because it does 1 more damage. Impact Tremors. Whenever a creature you control enters, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. This should not be a card that I have to use in this deck, but keeping in the case of staying with either the beginner box or the starter collection, this was one of the cards. So I may find that I do need this. Mind Sparker. So this is a first strike, and whenever an opponent casts a white or blue instant, so this would only be put in during matches where you were taking on white or blue. This creature deals 2 damage to that player. Seismic Rupture, this does 2 damage to each creature without flying. We do have some creatures that it would kill, but for those Convoke decks or decks that go wide quickly, this will take care of that. Broken Wings. This is a destroy target artifact or enchantment or a creature with flying. So this is one of those tech cards that you keep in. Thrashing Brontodon. It is sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. So that helps with the artifact or enchantment removal. And then this, I just added this in here. I think this card is funny. If a target player has exactly 10 life, it deals 10 damage to that player for 4 mana. And then Magnagoth Sentry, it's just a 4/4 reach. If for some reason I'm finding that I'm taking on flying creatures, then I might want to add this in. So that is the Gruul starter deck. I'm going to leave it there for that. I will follow up with Orzhov and then also Blue. And again, these 3 decks you can create out of the 2 beginner and starter collection. And you don't need any other cards. I thank you for watching. Please have a great day.